Everything is politics, even faith. So it should come as no surprise that the church is caught in the US-China row. America says the Vatican is siding with China and putting its moral authority at risk. The Pope has refused to condemn China for religious persecution, even for demolishing churches. And now the same Pope has refused to meet US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. So what's cooking and why is the Vatican being seen in the Chinese camp? I can start the story from about 70 years ago when China banned the Catholic Church, or from 2 years ago when the church tried to re-enter China. But let's start with the very latest. A few days ago, the Pope is caught in a diplomatic war between Washington and Beijing. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has emerged as one of the sharpest critics of the Pope. Pompeo went to Rome. He tried to meet the Pope, but he was denied a meeting. Why did the Vatican refuse? It said that such a meeting right before the US elections, the presidential election, will be inappropriate. And just FYI, the Vatican has weighed in on political matters in poll-bound countries in the past. I'll give you examples later on the show. For the moment, let me tell you how Mike Pompeo responded. He wrote a sharp letter in which he slammed the Vatican's dealings with China. He said an agreement with Beijing would endanger the Vatican's moral authority. What agreement is he talking about? Something that was signed in 2018. A secret, now not so secret deal between the Roman Catholic Church and China. A breakthrough that was meant to end decades of mistrust between Christianity and communism. Both sides have not had any formal diplomatic ties since 1951. They still don't have ties. But this 2018 agreement was a big deal because China finally recognized some papal authority. It gave the Pope a say in the appointment of bishops in China. Now, the world over, the Pope appoints bishops, but China has its own rules. It appoints its own bishops. It demolishes churches. It takes down the cross. It persecutes Christians. We've reported on that on this show. And yet, in 2018, the Vatican signed this deal. It bent the rules for China and accepted the legitimacy of the Chinese bishops. The decision was slammed by the critics of Pope Francis. 2 years have passed, and now the agreement is up for a renewal. The church does not want to upset China and risk this deal. And America is putting pressure on the church to stop engaging with Beijing.
Every institution to use its authority, its power, to make the lives for what is the greatest human rights violation ongoing in the world. And we want every institution to use their power. I happen to think that churches, and the Catholic Church included, have enormous capacity. It is. I wrote that piece to honor the moral authority of the Catholic Church and its capacity to influence and make things better for people all across the world. They have historically stood with oppressed peoples all around the world.
Politics may be driving Mike Pompeo's pressure tactics, but the points he is raising are not without merit. And the Vatican has failed to address them. China has repeatedly broken the agreement with the church, yet the Pope is keen to renew it. So much so that he will turn a blind eye to China's human rights violations and he will turn away America's Secretary of State. Why is the Vatican engaging with China when Christians are being persecuted there? Just last month, dissenting Catholic priests in Jiangxi were placed under house arrest. Reports say China had promised to protect the clergy from coercion, but this is a clear breach of that deal. Why were the priests placed under house arrest? Because they refused to join the so-called patriotic churches organized by the Communist Party. According to a report, China has kicked off a campaign to sinicize Christianity, make it more Chinese. In 2019, it was reported that 500 house church leaders signed a statement. The statement tells the tale of the persecution of Christians in China. Crosses have been removed from buildings, churches have been forced to install the Chinese flag, minors have been barred from attending church. The Communist Party even has a plan to rewrite the Bible. It is called Promoting Chinese Christianity. According to one estimate, there are at least 10 million Christians living in China. Officially, China is an atheist state. It is cracking down on Christianity in a bid to control it. And the Vatican seems to be overlooking all of this just to engage with the Chinese regime. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. World is One.